Okay, wir stehen hier jetzt mit einer Legende, will ich sagen, muss ich sagen, darf ich sagen. Roddy Piper, wir kennen ihn alle aus Sie leben. Hello,
Hello,
Mr.
sir.
Piper.
Thank you for
It's
having me.
an honor to meet you.
Well, that's very kind. I'm honored to be here. This is my first time in Germany, I think. I know, back in the 90s I might have been here, but I'm really enjoying myself.
So you're here in Germany, and at the same time, you're now on Swiss TV. How does that feel?
Well, you know, the show Raw goes into 120 countries every week. So, like from Africa to China to Japan to Switzerland, you know, I'm used to being on TVs all over the world, and I've been in most of the places. I love Switzerland because they just like the sauna, drink beer, and make love. That's a good place.
Exactly.
It's a good place. You know, long names, but cool place.
Yeah, long name with cool people. Yeah, in
Yes,
some way, in some way.
very much.
So you are an action hero because of They Live. You have worked with John Carpenter. You have worked with Billy Blanks in some movies.
Yeah,
How was it to work with Billy Blanks? You have
Billy
made
Blanks,
it Tough and Deadly with him.
I did two with one Elmo Freach and one Tough and Deadly. Billy Blanks at the time, he was trying to come up with a new system of getting fit.
So, not Zumba, Taibo.
Well, when we were doing it, the first movie, Back in Action, we were trying to come up with titles, and so we came up with aerobics and etc. And that didn't work, and it turned out to be Taibo. And so we were doing that the very first movie that Billy Blanks and I did, and then he went on to do Taibo, which was a great success for him.
So how comes that to make the step into the movie business? Was it always your dream beside wrestling to become an actor, or it was more accident?
No, it was a complete accident. It was an accident I became a wrestler. I never even thought about being in front of the camera, ever. My first wrestling match was when I was 15 years old. I was the youngest professional in the world, and still in history, I think. But the reason I did movies was because as a fighter, I have 4 children, and you can't get health insurance. So I started making movies to get SAG, Screen Actors Guild, and get health insurance for them. And that led into John Carpenter and They Live. And then I started liking it. And if it wasn't for that, I'm not sure I would have had the ability or the opportunity to make movies, you know, but I like them now a lot.
And in They Live, you have the longest fight scene in movie history. You're in the Guinness Book of the Records.
I'm in the Guinness Book of Records.
It's amazing.
Yeah, John Carpenter had me watch A Quiet Man with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. And at that time, they had the longest fight scene. But the difference was the fight scene in They Live was between 2 friends. Mm-hmm. And it matched the arc of the script. The fight scene in The Quiet Man was between 2 enemies. So it's, the one in They Live is a much more difficult fight scene to choreograph, one, and you have to keep that friendship within the fight. And for instance, when I swung a 2x4 at his head, and then I realized what I could have done, and I was taken aback. And then he got mad and took a wine bottle and smashed it, but it cut his hand. That made me laugh, which made him madder. So it had character within the fight as opposed to just like karate chops or whatever it might be. So I think that helped to make it unique.
Old school action movies are very popular at the moment with the Expendables 2 and so. Can you imagine to be a part in the Expendables 3 and kick Stallone's ass, as example?
I've already kicked his butt, Stallone. Sure, I think the Expendables would be fun to do. I understand that they're going to do a television show now. Mm-hmm. But, you know, John Nada, the character from They Live, he was quite a loner, so I don't know how he would come into this scenario.
Like Chuck Norris in the Expendables too.
Yeah,
he come and goes.
He just come and
the
goes.
Lone wolf.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if Chuck's doing the next one, but we've been talking, you know, Ari and myself have been talking, and we may do it. I just want to make sure it's done right. If you watch the Expendables, the first one, I've only seen the first one, when it comes to the fight scene, they have quick cuts.
Yes.
And if I was going to do a fight scene with whoever, Lee or Dolph or whoever, I'd want to have the fight scene. I wouldn't want it. They were kind of taking the shortcut for Steve Austin's knees, and you know. But if I was going to do a fight scene, I'd want to do the real deal. You know? Yeah.
Awesome. I'm just a little bit overwhelmed right now.
No, you're doing good.
Okay.
And I'm all out of bubblegum, so.
I know.
How is it a feeling to be a hero to so many people? Sorry. Because I'm so nervous to talk with you because you are my childhood hero. I'm wetting my pants at the moment.
You're going to be fine. You know, one autograph line, I had 5 generations. And what's happened is this. When WrestleMania exploded in '86, there was like a young man watching it and his dad. And then they grew up and their son watched it. And then they grew up and their son watched it. Excuse me. The best I've done is 5 generations. And they tremble and they get, because it's not me. I just happen to be what they were bonding with, you know, but I have so much love and respect for them. When they come, I like to give them the time of day that's needed. I never cut off the line. You know, I've been fighting 42 years, so all those, when your head gets big and then you fall on your feet, all those, I've gone through all those. And I love them, so I don't have any problem bringing them on. I talk to them. A lot of people like have problems, cancer or whatever it may be, and you know, I take the time to talk to them. I love them. They're good people.
So during your wrestling career, I have one last question. Which was the other wrestler for which you had the most respect?
Bret Hart.
Oh my goodness. You know, that's a tough question because you got to divide it into sections. When I was 15, I was with the last of the Gorgeous George guys. And then when you're talking about Bret Hart was younger than I, and that was I think that was WrestleMania 8. So I had been fighting 21 years by that time, approximately. Some of my fondest ones were my father's, like Mad Dog Vachon, Luthez, George Gordienko, Carl Gotch, Judo Gene LaBelle. Then you move me to the fellows you know, Mr. Perfect, Big Boss Man, Kerry Von Erich, Don Morocco, Bobby Orton, Ace, the only guy that had a broken arm for 2 years. Just put the damn cast on, Ace. You know, they were the ones that I would hang out with. And then we all went to the WCW, and then that gave guys like Stone Cold an opportunity, and The Rock. Before that, they didn't have a place to go because they were all filled up with guys that really knew what they're doing. So then all of a sudden it shifted to those guys, and that's when, Shawn Michaels got a break, and Triple H. So like there's 3 distinct categories. But the first category, which would be the WWF, what they took the best from all over the world and the best rebels, and you couldn't beat those boys.
And my final question is,
yes, sir.
When you get the time to sit down and watching a movie, what kind of movie do you prefer? What are your favorite movies?
Oh man, I like Michael Collins, I like Gandhi, I like Son of a Woman, I like musicals, like Oliver.
Did you see Les Miserables with Hugh Jackman?
Yes, I just did. Yeah, it was long, but it was wonderful. Outlaw Josie Wells, you know, that's kind of my range. I like more non-fiction. I don't really like fiction, but you know, Rambo, he's cool.
So thank you very much for the interview.
Pleasure was mine.